Grace and peace to you. Welcome to Morning Watch. I'm Rob, one of the pastors here at White Plains. Glad to have you with us today. There we go. This is where we gather for a song and a thought for the day, so glad you're with us whenever you're watching. Morning, Terry. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Kenna. And good morning to you whenever you're with us. Thank you. Well, let's begin our time together by going to God in prayer. Good morning, Florida. Help me call a blessing down, for I think our poor old world needs it. A blessing of the ordinary, a blessing of national life without chaos and personal life without fear. Help me pray a healing down, for I know how much we need it. A strengthening of the bonds between us, simple respect and patient listening, a new beginning for us all. And help me welcome the sacred down, the wide-winged spirit drawn from every corner of heaven, to walk among us once more, to show us again how it can be, when justice is the path and love the destination. Amen and amen. Dr. Lee says, seems like Thursday should have a special name too. Yeah, after Shrove Tuesday and Ash Wednesday, well, what could Thursday be? I don't know. Coffee Thursday. All righty. Well, I was doing some older protest songs last couple of days, and here's another one. This one probably not as familiar with unless you're a regular here on Morning Watch, because I've certainly done it a bunch. Great. Maybe we could call it Smudge Thursday, because we still have some smudges. Traces. Hey Vernon, hey Steve, and Robin. All right, so here's a Richard Thompson song. Time to ring some changes. Yeah, there you go. So that song, you might have a hard time finding it unless you can probably find an acoustic version of it. But the version I learned came from an album called Hard Cash, which was a BBC documentary on the plight of the working class in Britain. Hard Cash. Well worth looking up that soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack. And Richard Thompson wrote that song. So. All right. Awesome, Keith. That's so cool. Yeah, I've seen Thompson a couple of times myself. Did not know you were a fan. Good to know. Morning, Lee. Morning, Vernon. All right. So we continue on this rung of action in this book, Ladder to the Light by Stephen Charleston, and we're talking about spirituality. How we could possibly restore faith in the institution of spirituality. And Charleston is talking about his own Native American spirituality and how it is intentionally disorganized. He writes, "What voice do you hear calling you to the holy? Is it the chant of somber voices in the meditation hall? A call to prayer sung out over the city? Or a cantor's invitation to enter the tent of meeting? What speaks to you? How does it know your language of the heart? I believe we each have a spiritual sound, a code imprinted in our soul to which we respond. Before we learned the lesson of our faith, before we were taught to recite and repeat, we had only a sound, a beautiful, haunting sound. We heard it, we came to it, and we stayed. The sound of the Spirit is the voice of hope. It speaks in 1,000 ways, calling each one of us individually. The mystery is that we hear it as if it knows us by name." And he writes, traditional Native American spiritual systems operate on an unexpected principle. It is not important to make sure everyone believes in exactly the same way. It is important, however, to make sure everyone celebrates what they believe together. This approach to religion is disorganized because it is a matter of personal piety, not institutional dogma. But it is also highly communal because everyone takes part in the annual cycle of spiritual ceremonies. The ceremonies are focused on the one thing that everyone in the community shares, even if their spiritual beliefs are different. They share hope. The hope for rain, the hope for a good harvest, the hope for good health, the hope for love. The disorganized religion of Native America allows people to hold different opinions, but to feel spiritually connected through a shared hope. And in this way, everyone is affirmed. Everyone sees themselves in the religious practice of the community, but without coercion or demands for conformity. To understand the Native American religious system more clearly, understand this. Why do Native Americans dance so much? The ceremonies I describe here are all dances. Every traditional Native American religious calendar has ceremonial dances that must be maintained. The green corn dance, the stomp dance, the sun dance, the snake dance. The list goes on, but the principle is the same in each situation. The dance focuses on what we all hope for together. That's the point. Celebrating what we hope for together is better than fighting over what we believe separately. I'm going to read that last one again. Celebrating what we hope for together is better than fighting over what we believe separately. Another way to say that, as we've said in our tradition, is that there is more that unites us than divides us. You know, a lot of political movements make their hay in dividing people, giving people something, an enemy, a face to go against, a demon, an idea or a party or a class of people or a race of people to demonize, right? And so dividing and fracturing the society to better control it. This is, I know it may sound like I'm talking about recent history, but it's been the pattern throughout history, right? That's why people keep using that method, is because it does work in the short term. But, as Charleston writes, celebrating what we hope for together is far better than fighting over what we believe separately. He writes, the answer is within. It is all a circle, the ancestors said, an endless circle within a circle. The drum is a circle, the dance ground is a circle, the earth is a circle. There is no us or them, no top or bottom, no beginning or end, no lines of division, only a seamless embrace. The answer is within, and it has existed since before time began, and it will be there long after the last campfire fades. For even if we are not there to see it, the stars will make their great circle of the heavens to mark the way home. He says individual belief is interpretation. None of us, even members of the same organized religion, believes in exactly the same way. We interpret the meaning of our creeds. We cross our fingers behind our backs on some parts of the dogma, and we ardently embrace others. Native American spiritual systems take this kind of individual interpretation for granted, and they do not allow it to become the focal point of religion. Doing so would only invite people to argue endlessly about their differences instead of coming together to celebrate their similarities. Right? I mean, Wesley said, in essentials, unity, in non-essentials, charity. Right? The problem is some people draw a line in the sand over one thing that they consider essential, right? It's hard, when Christ said, really, there's only two things that are essential, and that's love of God and love of neighbor. Those are the essentials to God. Can we not find unity in that? Charleston continues. Organized religion is built on conforming to dogma, and that results in conflict. It encourages exclusion. It opens the door to abuse by the institution. In contrast, disorganized religion tolerates individual differences, emphasizes communal celebrations of shared hopes, and draws people together. It gives them room to breathe spiritually and allows them to see themselves in the worship of the people. In traditional Native American spiritual systems, people can still disagree about interpretations. But because there is no compulsion to believe in exactly the same way, these arguments almost never take center stage. Instead, dance takes that place in the community's religious life. Dance is at the center because it is both a collective expression of every person's hopes and an open invitation for people to participate alongside their brothers and sisters in faith, however they interpret it. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Good stuff, right? Maybe we should be a little bit less disorganized, or a little bit more disorganized in our religion. Ooh, that's tough for us Methodists, right? I mean, it's right there in our name. That's why they gave us the name Methodists, is we're very methodical and deliberate in our methodology, right? But I think we're also a big tent church. We allow for disagreements of dogma and different interpretations, and we unite around those two historic commandments of love of God and love of neighbor. So maybe we're not too far from the path after all. All right. Well, thanks for being here, folks. May you find peace and purpose in this day and community around our shared hopes. I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another Morning Watch. Thanks for being here. Take care.